Welcome to Beers with Brian. And I'm Brian. This is the Rut Edition. Okay, so we're officially in a rut, or at least I am. We're social distancing. How long is that gonna last? We're wearing masks. How long is that gonna last? We've canceled all of our sporting events and concerts and gatherings. How long is that gonna last? I don't know. Feels like forever, which is not inspiring, I know, but I'm here to tell you the truth. I've seen and heard stories about drive-by birthday parties and funerals and grandparents hugging their grandchildren through giant plastic walls. It's unthinkable, but necessary. Somewhere we wouldn't have been 3 months ago, but are now. And I don't know how long it's gonna last. What other changes do you think are gonna be coming along, or have already changed, but are here to stay for the long run? Tell me in the comments below. Today, on Beers with Brian, a new feature, a more positive feature, Curator Spotlight. And this week's curator that we're shining the light on is Dubs. What up, Sarah Dub? Hey, this is Sarah W. She's been with us for a couple years now, maybe almost 2. Crazy. She also moonlights at Purdue when she's not working at Brokerage Brewing. She's super generous, always bringing back beers when she comes from her travels around the country, and is just like a really, really awesome person. She's also told me confidentially that she's Beers with Brian's #1 fan. So, cheers to Sarah W. That reminds me, this week's Beers with Brian beer is our now flagship hazy IPA. This is Social Media Casualty. It comes in at 6.4 ABV and 20 IBUs. And the thing that it features the most is Citra. Let's talk about hops for a minute. Hops give 3 components to beer: bitterness, flavor, and aroma. When we add the hops at the beginning of the boil, that's when it extracts all those oils out and creates bitterness. When we leave it to later in the process, maybe during a dry hopping, DDH, or during fermentation when we add the hops, or at the end of the boil, that's when we get our flavor and aroma. So it extracts those oils, but it doesn't necessarily break them down into bitter components. The bitterness comes from alpha acid units, and Citra is one of the highest alpha acid unit beers around. Say that 10 times fast. So what you get with Citra is citrus, clever naming by the marketing company that came up with this, and floral aromas, sometimes little tropical notes. One of the most famous beers that feature Citra is 3 Floyd's Zombie Dust. So, it's a very smooth beer and a very hyped beer, but one that's also very delicious. This weekend is Memorial Day weekend. Gentlemen, start your engines is something you're not gonna hear this weekend because, like I said before, everything's canceled or postponed. Apparently the Indy 500 is gonna be ran sometime in August. That'll be different. It might be even more burning your butt on the bleachers hot than ever. Who knows? But you can still go out, you can still camp out, you can still grill out, you can still float in some body of water, you can play cornhole, you can make s'mores on a campfire, you can listen to John Cougar sing some patriotic American music. There's plenty to do this Memorial Day weekend. Get out there this weekend, have some fun, go outdoors, see your family in a safe, responsible way that you can feel comfortable being around them, and just have a good old relaxing weekend this Memorial Day weekend. So next week at BBCo, no changes in our carry-out or delivery schedule at this point. That's all gonna stay the same. But guess who's back in town? That's right, RTB is coming back. Roasted, toasted, and baked is gonna be here next Friday, May 29th. And there will be brisket. Oh, RTB brisket's so good. Oh, I can't wait. We'll also be seeing our friends from Guac Box and EMT next week as well. So don't forget to come out and support them too. As always, please like and subscribe And if you have any ideas or beer topics that you'd like me to talk a little bit more about on a future episode of Beers with Brian, just shoot a comment down below and we'll be sure to look at those on YouTube or Facebook and use your ideas in a future episode. All right? So until then, masks, hands, distancing. Cheers.